promotion. Price, product, promotion, and place. Yes, that's marketing mix. So when you want to decide on your pricing, it has to blend with the other strategies in your marketing mix. After effect image of the product and high price normally indicating high quality. So whatever price that you want to decide, you should think about how it can be perceived by your consumer. In distribution, prices give profit to retailer, wholesaler through a large profit margin and trade allowance given by manufacturer. So, for example, your channel is from you as a manufacturer to wholesaler, wholesaler sell to retailer, retailer sell to customer. So, you have to give that allowance. That means you tak boleh letak high price dah. Sebab bila sampai kat retailer, dia nak jual kat luar macam mana? So you have to put a figure where you sell to wholesaler, wholesaler pun ada profit sikit untuk sell to retailer. Retailer nak jual consumer ada margin juga. Kalau tidak, dia tak boleh nak beli. So kalau that is the channel that you choose, you must have some distribution in profit for the other people in the chain. Price play a role in promotion through discounts, allowances, rebates to attract customer. So basically, price is more flexible. You doesn't have to change the price, but you can give discounts, you can give allowance, you can give rebates. Kalau product, you dah develop the product, it's not that flexible to change. Tapi price is quite flexible. Okay, this is the when you want to set the price, there is three methods of pricing. The first one is value-based pricing, depend on the value that people put on your on your product, consumer perception of product value, or you can use this method, competitive-based pricing. This is you look at your competitors' price and then you try to match with them. Lastly is cost-based pricing. This is based on company cost. Lepas tu you add up some margin for your profit. Okay, so this is the three method of pricing. Normally, value-based pricing will be nearer to the price ceiling at the maximum price. Kalau competitive ni dekat within the in the middle here. While company-based cost-based pricing, you will look at the cost plus some margin there. Okay, look at the first one, value-based pricing. Consumers' perception of products' value determines the maximum price. So you know what is the highest price that your consumer is willing to pay. Value-based pricing consider the worth that the customer place on the product. It is based on perceived benefit of the consumer. Based on perception of the image, based on perception of the product features, of its quality, of its services and whatnot. So you maybe can do a survey. You can ask, how much are they willing to pay? Range from what price to what price, okay? It does not use the seller's cost as a basis of pricing. Normally, this kind of product, it is something rare, something, you can, because sometimes when you have this perception, although your cost is just very small, tapi you can put really high price because of the perception. Okay, these are the product yang itulah, like I said, it's rare, it's maybe very advanced and so on. The market positioning strategy of the product is very important to influence consumers' perception. So, kalau you want to use value-based pricing, you want to put high price for this product based on their perception. So you must develop their perception. You must develop. That means you have to use all the other marketing mix to develop the position in the minds of your consumer about your product so that they will be willing to pay high price. Two types of value-based pricing. The first one is good value pricing strategy. The other one is value-added pricing. Good value pricing strategy, marketers offer suitable amount of quality and expected services at a fair price. More quality, same price, or same quality, lower price. So that is good value pricing strategy. For value-added pricing, you highlight the added value and services to a product and charge a higher price to match the competitors' offering. So you want to decide on value-based pricing, it should be in line with how you position your product, and you have to develop the positioning in the mind of your consumer so that they will be willing to pay that amount, because this is for high price. Competitive based pricing, the second method. This method lets a firm to consider the price of the competing products before setting the initial price. Okay, they're based on the competitor's price. Competitors entering a new market may decide to price the product below the market value in order to gain market share. Sometimes bila that product tu dah ada banyak, you nak attract new customer, you nak attract customer to this new product, maybe you will throw some lower, cheaper price than what's there in the market. Okay, or you can have you can have product where you price the product above the market price if it has a unique competitive advantage. Maybe let's say last time telephone hanya boleh guna untuk telefon je. Suddenly Nokia come out telephone yang ada kamera, then you can put above market price because belum ada lagi. Ataupun sekarang ni mungkin kalau tiba-tiba your phone can do something yang orang phone lain tak boleh buat, then they can put the price above the market price. Must have unique competitive advantage. Price the product equal to the prevailing price to avoid price war. So sometimes people just go in and just blend into the market, tak nak price war. Sebab the thing is like this, when you are new and you get into the market, the competitors see that you are throwing price, they have the financial position already sebab dia dah lama kan dalam business, so dia dah ada financial position untuk bank balik. Okay, dia boleh put lower than you and can sustain sampai you mati baru dia letak price balik normal price. It happen in the industry. This kind of thing happen all the time because they don't want to have more competitors. Tapi those who have the financial position yang kuat lah, kalau tidak pun dia biar je lah orang tu masuk market, masuk lah. Okay, for monopoly type of business, it can put any price as it wish. Kalau sebab dia seorang je yang produce benda tu, dia monopoli. Monopoli means dia seorang je yang produce benda tu, so they can just put whatever price they think because they don't have competitor. Perfect competition market ataupun they call it homogeneous product like rice, milk, and this one mostly based on your competition. What is the competition? What is the competitor's price? Price based on demand, quantity demanded versus quantity supplied. So you punya price will based on the demand and supply. For oligopolistic, that means for companies yang ada a few je. Macam contoh telecommunication company, hanya ada Celcom. Kalau dulu hanya ada Celcom, ada Maxis, member Digi, 3 je. So that one is oligopolistic. Kalau sikit, ada a few je. Monopoly ni memang dia seorang je, satu company tu je. Tapi oligopolistic ni ialah ada just a few. So for this one, they normally lowering price to compete. They normally get into price war. They will try to capture the attention of the consumer by lowering their price. Lastly is cost-based pricing. Companies' costs serve as a price floor of which a goods should not be priced under it. That means you see your cost, when you put your price, it shouldn't go below the cost. Okay, that means if it's below the cost, that means you are making loss. Okay, marketers need to set a price of a product that will generate sufficient revenue to cover the cost of production, cost of marketing, and fair rate of return at every level of production. You need to work on profit. Okay, you must have some profit because number one, you have to cover all the costs that you have already incurred, and you also need some profit there so that your business can expand. You tak boleh bagi price below the cost. Okay, cost has these are the product cost elements. You have to understand this: what is variable cost, what is fixed cost, what is average variable cost, average total cost, and marginal cost. Okay, variable cost. What is variable cost? It refers to cost that change with the level of output. That means, let's say, for example, you are preparing to produce this pen. Okay, every time you prepare this pen, you need to have this cap, this pen, dia punya ni cover ni, dia punya macam lid ni, and dia punya ink. So every pen you have, you must have all this. You prepare 10. If you want to produce 10 marker pen, you need 10 caps. Kalau you produce 3, you only need 3 caps. So it increase with the number of unit that you produce. That one is variable cost. Fixed cost refers to the costs that do not vary as output is increased or decreased. Fixed costs include rent, building insurance, vehicle insurance, and administrative salary. For example, let's say you have one accountant and one marketeers. Doesn't matter if you produce 10 or you produce 20 or you produce 100, the salary of this accountant and the marketing still will be fixed. They won't change. Or for example, you want to produce this pen, you need a machine, molding machine for example. So molding machine tu akan ada depreciation. There will be cost. Okay, penggunaan machine tu adalah fixed. So no matter you produce 1 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000, your fixed cost will be fixed. Maksudnya beli mesin tu satu tu masih lagi cost dia satu. Dia takkan macam if you produce satu dengan you produce 100, you kena tambah beli mesin. Tak ada pula lah kan. So that one is fixed cost. Average variable cost is total variable cost divided by the quantity of output. So that one to get your average. Average total cost refer to all total cost, the total cost divided by total output. Depends lah berapa yang you jual atau how many you produce. Marginal cost is the change in total cost in relation to a unit change of output. Kenapa kita ada beza antara average total cost dengan marginal cost? Because of the element of the fixed cost. Cost behavior at different production level. Okay, what is economies of scale? We normally when we produce something, we want to achieve economies of scale. Economies of scale lead to reduction in average cost per production unit as production approaches. Because the fixed cost of plant are spread over more production unit. Okay, for example, if you have a machine, okay, your machine cost is let's say 200 ringgit. Machine cost 200 ringgit. This is fixed. Okay, and then your variable cost is 10 per unit. Okay, 10 per unit. So when you produce 1, that means you will 1 times 10 ringgit tadi for your variable cost. Then you will get 10 ringgit for variable cost sebab satu kan. Plus 200 of your fixed cost. You will get 210. 210 divide by, right? But if you produce 10 units, so the price of your fixed cost is still 200. But your variable cost now will be 10 ringgit times 10 unit. It will be 100. So you get total cost of 300. 300 divide by how many units you produce just now? Ni test siapa yang mendengar. Afrina? Afrina?
Yes.
Camera ni, please on camera everybody. Nak jawab pun macam lambat sangat-sangat je. Atira, Mashita, Dinesh, Azlan, on camera semua.
Doktor, cam saya dia tiba-tiba pula tak nak buka. Saya buka dia tutup balik.
Yelah tu.
Betul, sekejap. Saya cuba.
Okay, sebab Afrina, how many you produce in the second example?
Ni pula 210.
210 yang tadi, yang second example. Yang first example tadi, 1 unit. Variable cost 10 ringgit is 10 ringgit variable cost plus 200, bukan 210. 210 divided by 1 unit that you produce, you get 210. For this one, the second example is your fixed cost is still 200, but you produce 10 units. 10 units times variable cost 10 ringgit, jadi berapa?
Seratus.
100. So total cost berapa? Nurain Natasha? Berapa?
$200.
Apa yang 200?
Total cost.
Macam mana you dapat total cost 200? Saya tak dengar doktor. Doktor cakap daripada tadi tu saya memang tak dengar. Tan?
Saya tak faham doktor.
Tak faham, saya dengar kosong. Tak ada siapa yang bertanya apa-apa soalan pun. Tan?
Sorry doktor, tak berapa faham ni.
Kat mana yang tak faham?
Yang tadi cakap itu 200 dengan 10 punya itu.
Rowena?
Ada. Sorry doktor, saya pun tidak faham juga.
Tak faham ke tak dengar?
Sorry doktor, slow sikit.
Semua orang tadi tengah off camera, so semua orang dengar ke tak dengar? Kalau tidak kita cancel je kelas, suruh baca sendiri je. Benda ni bukan tak boleh baca sendiri, boleh je baca sendiri. Okay, what is variable cost? What is variable cost?
Kos dia berubah.
Berubah macam mana?
Penambahan atau daripada segi macam mana? Harga naik ke apa ke tu kira macam variable cost kan, betul tak?
Apa contoh yang saya bagi tadi?
Apa tadi? Sekejap.
Pen doktor.
Pen dengan penutup pen doktor.
Pen. So apa benda yang akan berubah? Setiap kali saya produce satu pen ni, apa yang akan berubah?
Penutup pen.
Penutup pen. So that one is variable cost. That means every single production that I make, that cost will increase. If I produce 1, it will increase by 1. If I produce 10, it will increase by 10. Correct? Kalau fixed cost? Fixed cost berubah ke tak berubah?
Tak berubah.
Dia tak berubah. No. When you have that amount, that will be the amount. So what is the example I gave just now?
Machine.
For example, if you have machine, or you have accountant, or you have marketeers, all those are fixed costs. Okay. My example just now, the calculation, let's say you produce only 1 pen and the variable cost is 10 and the fixed cost is 200. So what is the total cost?
$300.
Macam mana 300? The fixed cost is 200. The variable cost is 10. you produce only 1 unit.
210 lah.
210.
If you produce 10 units of pen and the cost is the same, fixed 200, variable cost 10. So how much total cost?
2,100
Kenapa 2,100?
sebab 10 production. Variable cost tu kira per unit kan?
Okay.
Saya silap.
How do you get that 2,000? I know where you get the 100, but where do you get the 2,000?
Saya silap. 200 fixed cost tu kira for 1 unit lah kan, doktor?
What is the definition of fixed cost?
Tak berubah.
So
Okay, faham.
So total berapa? Total cost?
300.
Rowena?
Doctor? Wait, is it 420,000?
Why 420,000?
Because like the fixed cost is 200 and per cost the variable cost is 10, so it's 210. Then there's 200 pens produced. So 210 times 200. Is it, doctor?
The fixed cost is 200.
Mm-hmm.
The variable cost is 10 per unit.
Mm-hmm.
And you produce 10 units.
Oh,
So
10 units. Sorry,
what is
doctor.
the total variable cost?
2,100.
Why do you have to tell Azlan macam mana? Kenapa 2,100? Rowena, can you explain to Rowena why is it not 2,100?
Because the 200 is fixed cost, so it will not change. So the thing that only change is the variable cost, which is 10. So 10 times 10, 100.
Nampak tak Rowena?
Sorry, Azan, can you repeat again?
So the fixed cost is 200. The variable cost is 10. So the amount that we produce is 10. So the 10 for variable cost is per pen. So we produce 10. So 10 times 10, 200. So include with the fixed cost is 200. So it's 300. Bukan betul? Kita silap.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
Right. Faham tak Rowena?
Okay, baru faham. Thank you.
Okay, third example. Fixed cost is the same. It's fixed, right? And you produce 20 units. So how much is it? What is the total cost?
400.
Rowena?
Yeah, same.
Ya, Jeshwari? 400. Dan Adira?
400, Doctor.
400. Okay, now I want you to calculate. Tadi 400 and the third example. Calculate each of this example ada 1, 2, 3 tadi. You produce 1, you produce 10 and you produce 20 kan? What is the per unit cost? That one just now is total cost. So I want to know what is the per unit cost. Calculate dulu. per unit cost for all the 3 example?
Dah.
Okay, can we have the figure?
For 1 is 200. For 10 is 30. For 20 is 20.
For the first one apa? 200 je?
200. 210, sorry. Silap. 210.
Okay, 210. The second one?
30.
30. And the third example?
20.
Yeah, 20. Alright, everybody get the same figure? 210, 30 and 20. Yeah? Okay, this is what we call economies of scale. When you have larger scale, you can spread the fixed cost to more units. Right? But if you produce only one, your cost is so high, 210. But when you produce 10, your per unit cost is already 30 only per unit. Per unit tau. Then if you produce 20, it's already 20 per unit. Right? So, beza dia daripada 1 ke 10 is 10 units. Daripada 10 ke 20 also 10 units. Right? Tapi the magnitude difference is very big. This one is from 210, dia turun jadi 30. Tapi from 30, dia reduce only 20 sahaja. So just now the lower it gets when you produce larger volume, that one is called economies of scale. Okay, but this one the magnitude that I just said just now, yang ni beza dia daripada 1 ke 10, 10 ke 20, 10 juga kan? Each of it 10 juga. Tapi daripada 1 to 10, the magnitude is very big. 210 tolak 30. Besar kan dia punya beza. Tapi daripada 10 ke 20, dia punya beza hanya RM10 per unit. Right? So this is we call marginal. Marginal. Akan sampai satu level yang you produce berapa pun dah tak ada beza. Okay? Right.
Doktor, so kira maksud marginal tu is yang apa, kira dia sama rata lah kira. Tu macam mana?
Dia bukan sama rata. Dia change in total cost in relation to unit change of output. That means dia marginal dia sikit je. Dia makin banyak volume dia, margin yang you akan dapat save tu sikit. Makin sikit. Okay? Unit economies of scale dah faham kan? Yeah? Okay. If the producer were to increase production more than the plant size maximum capacity in short run, the average cost will go up as the production become inefficient. Okay. Of course, you want to get economies of scale. That means you want to produce large as possible, as large volume as possible. However, machine dia ada capacity dia. Kalau you over capacity, dia akan start breaking down. You akan kena buat a lot of maintenance, repair and so on. So that one will also increase your cost. Sebab tu dia punya marginal tu dia takkan forever besar. Dia sikit je. Makin banyak you punya produce, marginal dia akan makin kurang. Okay. So when you want to decide on this production, because you want to decide on the cost, right? You want to get the economies of scale, but you also don't go over capacity. Okay. The producer will have to use a larger plant facility. So basically, kalau you have a lot of order, you might have to change place or you have to add another machine and so on. So for cost behavior at different production level, you can see here, this is quantity, lowest average cost and optimum quality for facility and at short run. Okay, this is how many cost product, your average cost, this will be the quantity. The more you produce, the lesser the cost. Okay, that's why you want to have. However, up to one level, the cost will start to rise because macam like I said just now, kalau pakai machine over capacity, machine tu mungkin akan breakdown dan a lot of maintenance you need to incur. So cost tu akan mula bertambah. So you will try to get this level of production. Okay. Not to go over capacity. Cost based on experience curve. Okay. One more thing is when you produce your product and it's new, you will normally incur they call it learning cost. Mungkin dulu kalau one piece of cloth, you let's say jual baju, one piece of cloth you beli, you nak potong, maybe dulu you tak pandai potong, you hanya kalau one piece of 1 meter, maybe you get 100 pieces ataupun 10 pieces, 1 meter je kan, so maybe you get 10 pieces. Tapi bila makin lama you get the skill, dah tak ada banyak damage and spoilage, you can get 150. So that cost of higher cost in the earlier part when you are still learning to get to be efficient, that one is called learning cost. Okay. Cost-based pricing, you can have two types of cost-based pricing. Number one is markup pricing. The other one is break-even point. This is example of markup pricing. The selling price is calculated by adding the cost of a product standard with markup for profit and for expenses not covered in cost. So, saya dah buat dah example ni kat you tadi. Sikit, tapi now this is a different example sebab this is about markup price on cost ataupun markup price based on selling price. Kalau ni variable cost, you understand what is variable cost already, right? Variable cost, it change per unit. Berapa unit you produce, it will increase based on how many units. Fixed cost doesn't change. This example give you expected sales unit and this is the desired markup on selling price. So kalau soalan ask you to calculate markup price based on cost, you buat macam ni. Markup berapa persen kali cost per unit. You kena calculate lah cost per unit tu berapa. Macam tadi yang kita kira berapa cost per unit tu. Plus what is the cost per unit. Okay. So this one 20% markup is 20% times 15 plus 15. So you get your selling price at 18. Okay. You know how to get this 15, right? Can you get the 15? Cuba tengok baca soalan tu boleh tak? Tahu tak macam nak cari cost per unit yang 15 tu? Kita dah buat tadi tapi example lain. Boleh dapat 15 tu?
Boleh Doktor.
Ada yang tak dapat? Okay, kita bagi sikit lagi masa untuk orang yang belum dapat. Anybody tak dapat? Semua okey? Boleh dapat 15? Ke tengah calculate lagi? Okay. So I assume tak ada siapa yang cakap tak dapat. So I assume you can get the 15 because tadi pun kita dah buat exercise ni. Ada yang dapat 15?
Doktor nak tanya, kira selling price ni dia macam mana lah? Kira kita nak dapat selling price.
That's why dia bagi this variable cost and fixed cost, right? And then dia bagi berapa unit you akan produce apa semua. Then kalau you decide untuk buat markup price based on cost, you calculate cost per unit, lepas tu you guna, this will be your formula, markup times cost per unit plus cost per unit. So basically ini adalah cost you. Ini adalah portion yang markup yang you nak buat. Markup tu on the cost. Okay, 20% atas cost. So you dapat selling price RM18. This is the price that you will sell out. Faham tak?
Faham?
Okay. Kalau you decide untuk markup price based on selling price, so you akan calculate macam ni. Markup kali selling price campur cost per unit. So the markup should be on the selling price. So how you want to get that? You 20% kali X plus 15 because this is 15 of your cost per unit. So 15 divide by, yang ni 0.8 lah kalau you balik kan. This is just maths. You get 1875. So this is markup price based on selling price. This is markup price based on cost. So ini untuk determine at least you get some profit. Okay?
Okay, Doktor.
Then break-even pricing, you have to know how much that you have to produce up to the level that you are not making profit atau you are not really making profit, but at least all your cost has you can cover already. So you calculate your break-even. After that, you can put whatever. That means you masa as marketers kan, as sales people kan, kalau you dah tahu what is the break-even point, that means you will target, I am going to sell more than that figure. Let's say dia kata you kalau jual 100, baru you akan capai break even point. Kalau you tak sampai 100 lagi, you masih lagi akan rugi sebab you have the fixed cost portion kat situ yang you nak kena cover kan. So you calculate your break even number. You make sure that when you sell higher than that. You sell, kalau 100 unit baru you dapat break even point, make sure you jual lebih daripada 100. So that at least all your costs will be covered. Kalau higher than that, it will be bonus lah. That means all that will be the profit for your company. Okay. Try to do this one. Try to calculate the break even pricing here. This is the question here is to calculate what is the quantity to break even. This is the example. Variable cost is 10 ringgit per unit. Fixed cost 100,000 ringgit. Selling price is 20 per unit. So how do you want to get your break even volume? The main reason you want to have to do this is because of this fixed cost. You nak make sure that all your fixed costs can be covered. Dapat tak? Semua orang dapat? Still calculating Okay.
Doktor, so kalau kita nak menjawab dalam exam pasal break even price atau break even volume ni, kira kita boleh ke kalau kita sebut dia sebagai optimum volume atau optimum volume ke kita kena juga sebut break even?
The term bukan optimum volume tu dia mean something else. This break even ni is maksudnya pada quantity ini you tak make profit tapi you tak make loss.
Oh, okay. Faham.
That is the meaning of the term break even.
Oh, okay.
So normally they can ask you quantity, or sometimes they can even ask you what can be the selling price. Here they give you selling price, kan 20. Tapi the question can actually give you this quantity. Dia kata break even quantity will be 10,000. Calculate the selling price. Pun boleh juga. Ataupun these are all maths. They can ask you what's the fixed cost by giving you all the other costs, all the other figures. That they boleh main with the maths there. So make sure you can understand. I think this should not be a problem lah for you all. Okay, so break-even pricing is for the quantity where at this quantity you are not making profit but you are not making loss. That means with this quantity you can cover all the cost that is that is there. So after that, contoh 10,001 ni 10,000, right? 10,001 ni you start making profit. So for your company, you must decide, okay, we have to sell more than 10,000 products so that all our cost is covered. Alright, moving on. What are the factors influencing pricing decision? The first one is pricing objective, then the marketing mix decision, your 4 P's, and then the demand and competition. The overall firm's objective and the marketing objective guide the development of pricing strategy atau pricing objective. So what you want to achieve as a company and how it blend with the marketing mix that you have must relate to your pricing decision. Pricing objective should be specific, attainable and measurable. The objective needs frequent monitoring to determine the effectiveness of the strategy. Okay. The objectives can be defined in terms of sales objective, profit objective, survival objective and social responsibility objective. So you punya sales ni kenalah align dengan antara mana yang you decide here. For example, kalau sales-oriented pricing objective, that means your pricing is based on your sales, they oriented to your sales. It lists market share and sales maximization depend on actual sales of the product rather than on the firm's overall cost structure. Okay, dia in sales ni, dia actually targeting for maximum number of sale that you can have. It can be measured in terms of products, units of product sales and revenue. This is quite common. That means orang akan target berapa banyak yang you nak jual sebanyak yang boleh in that year. Or you can have a profit oriented. Profit maximization refer to determining prices so that the total revenue is as large as possible. Yang ini dia punya sales as banyak as possible. This one is the profit, dia punya target is highest profit and biggest, maksudnya dia nak gain highest profit as possible. Okay. ROI is return on investment, is the most common profit objective. Dia nak increase the return on investment as much as possible. Okay. Sometimes if you use sales oriented strategy dengan profit oriented strategy, it will influence the way you want to put pricing. Kalau sales oriented ni, you focus pada volume of sales. Profit oriented ni, maybe you akan tengok berapa margin yang you akan boleh dapat dalam setiap produk yang you jual. Mungkin tak perlu banyak you jual tapi make sure profit dia besar. Kalau survival objective, price of goods will normally be set as low, set at or below the total cost. Sebab at this time you just nak survive. Sometimes kan dia orang cakap, okay, closing down sales. Dia nak survive dia. As long as dia boleh cover berapa-berapa duit yang dia dapat pun dah kira baik daripada langsung tak boleh jual. This decision is to capture the buyers left in the market and to sell sufficient volume that will cover variable cost of the firm's operation. Contohnya baju raya. Okay, kita nak raya ni baju raya. Baju raya dia every year dia ada trend. Right? Every year dia ada trend. Every year ada color trend, color scheme, whatever. Okay? So, sometimes this raya tak habis jual. Macam one of the shop yang I know, I've seen that baju last year. Okay, hari tu saya beli baju anak saya nampak dah baju yang tu last year. Tapi because they cannot sell, they bring up to this year. So dah setahun daripada, especially MCO ni, orang pun takkan beli baju banyak. Okay, so dia bawa sampai ke tahun ni. Dia nak survive je, dia nak make sure yang benda ni terjual. So dia bagi the lowest price possible. Kalau you nak beli yang trend tahun ni punya, mungkin harga dia lebih. Tapi yang last year punya, dia just nak make sure dia just let go. Dia akan let go the price because they want to make sure that it being sold. So just want to survive. Tapi that one is not so much survive lagi. That one is memang dia nak just finishing off the whatever they have. Survival ni lebih pada macam company tu dah almost nak bankrupt. Dia nak make sure dia survive. Contoh situation like now. If let's say before this that company tak ada delivery apa semua, sekarang dia sanggup hantar sampai ke rumah. Makanan pun sampai hantar ke rumah semuanya, okay? So that they are trying to survive, okay? So that is survival pricing. Kalau survival pricing, it can be at cost or even sometimes below cost. The fourth objective is social responsibility objective, pricing decisions which consider whether the people who need the product or services have the ability to pay. So maybe product medicinal to survive, people to survive. That survival tadi tu is for the company to survive. This one is for people to survive, for the consumer to survive. Maybe you are selling very basic products. Nasi lemak RM1 contohnya. Okay, you just making sure that people that you are, sebab dia dipanggil corporate social pricing, is for the society. Lastly is, tadi dah corporate social, continue. Okay, normally taken into account by government and non-profit organisation. Okay, so social responsibility ni normally these are projects taken atau in collaboration with government agencies ataupun non-profit organisation. Lastly is prestige objective. Prestige objective is the price for product of high image to the market may have this objective where consumer perceive that the product is premium value when the product is expensive. These products are seen as status symbol in a society and they are pursued by the status conscious customer. That means this one, they akan jual the value, the prestige rather than the product itself. Contohnya, like I said, I know this makcik yang buka kedai kain. Dia buat, dia ambil kontrak daripada Adidas. So material is being served by Adidas. Dia jahit, dia ambil kontrak menjahit saja. So material from Adidas, so dia menjahit. So dia ada balance. Balance tu dipanggil cloth loss lah. Ada berapa persen yang being allowed for loss. And then dia pun dah minta kebenaran daripada Adidas. Balance tu dia boleh buat apa-apa sahaja. So dia pandai, dia kain yang mana Adidas tu calculate boleh dapat berapa pieces lah. I think for example this cloth can get 8 pieces, Adidas calculate 8 pieces, tapi dia boleh dapat 9 pieces sebenarnya. Tapi when she inform the Adidas officer kata it's okay because kita nak we want to make sure that just 8. Kalau you dapat yang lebih tu you nak buat apa, whatever you do whatever. So yang ada tampal Adidas tu being sold at the malls yang kita duk pergi outlet Adidas tu sama je dengan yang ada kat kedai dia yang tak ada tampal Adidas. Material wise. But this one is being sold at maybe RM200. One t-shirt RM200. dekat tempat dia hanya RM50 je. Okay. So, Adidas is selling the prestige, the name, the brand. Okay. Padahal material yang sama. Sama juga dengan handbag. Handbag yang sampai 1,000 lebih, sampai 30,000, 50,000, 2 juta. Okay. Those are not, cannot be, I cannot imagine the cost can go up to that level. Contohlah bag yang 30,000. Ada je bag-bag 30,000 kan? Handbag 30,000. Tapi I don't believe that the cost can be up to 30,000. Maybe cost dia tak lebih daripada 1,000 pun. Okay. So what are they selling? They're selling the brand, the prestige, the positioning. The position in the brain of the consumer sampai level consumer sanggup beli 30,000 knowing that the cost is not that much either. Okay. So that is selling prestige.
Doktor, nak tanya, kalau macam kita tengok sekarang ni kan ada kasut yang contoh macam by this designer ataupun nama designer, nama mereka tu designer sendiri kan, benda tu dia jatuh pada prestige objektif ke?
Prestige. Dia prestige ni memang dia jual brand, dia jual nama, dia jual dia punya itulah macam value dia lah. Contoh kalau barang-barang yang kat dalam, contoh handphone pun function sama je tapi ada yang RM500, ada yang RM2,000, ada yang RM3,000, RM5,000, ada yang RM7,000. Okay. So although dia kata yang chip ni lebih sikit, dia boleh cover lebih sikit, tapi do you believe that the cost can be that much different? It's not, right? So it's prestige. Okay. Alright, then the other factors that can influence pricing decision is the marketing mix decision. Pricing decision should complement the other marketing mix. Ni saya dah cakap tadi. Kalau you dah letak you dah positionkan produk tu mahal dan you dah letak dekat mall, you tak bolehlah jual harga murah-murah. Kalau you dah letak benda tu jual dekat pasar malam, you tak bolehlah letak sampai handbag, contohlah handbag yang sama design, sama segala-segala sama, tapi you jual kat pasar malam. You cannot be selling at the price that you sell at the mall. So it has to complement with the other the other 3 piece that you have. It should consistent with the elements of other marketing mix, okay? Support the firm's decision in positioning a product in the target consumer's mind. Let's say lah you dah buat advertisement apa-apa semua tu nak tunjukkan barang ni premium, barang ni hebat, barang ni high quality, barang ni kalau you pakai you memang boleh gah gila, okay? Tapi lepas tu price dia murah. So it doesn't blend. Okay? So that's why pricing should complement the other marketing mix. Okay, ni saya dah bagi dah example, this one you can read yourself. Then the next factor that can influence pricing decision is the demand. Demand and supply equilibrium determines the equilibrium price of the product market. Ineffective pricing causes shortage and supply. Okay, when you okay, saya explain je. Nanti you can read yourself that part. When you sell the product, you must sell based on dia punya demand and supply. Let's say the supply is not enough. Let's say, for example, the first time when MCO happened, everything tak ada. Kat dalam market tak ada. Barangnya tak ada. You must increase the price so that people yang really want to buy will buy. Okay, so that you make sure that the supply in the market is always there. And it happened that way. Kalau barang tak cukup, harga akan naik. But if barang tu dah lambatkan, for example macam hari tu harum manis, tak ada buyer, tak boleh jual kat luar, ataupun whatever things lah yang especially yang boleh cepat rosak dan sebagainya, you must cut down the price. You tak boleh cakap ini premium, tak boleh, memang nak kena berharga ni juga. Barang ni barang organik, tak boleh kena harga ni juga, kalau tidak saya tak nak jual. You cannot do that. Bila benda tu ada lambatkan, especially tiba-tiba tak boleh cross border apa semua, you memang have to sell in your boundary sahaja. Yeah, you must be flexible with your price. You must be a bit more elastic on your price. Kalau tidak, you akan tak boleh jual, akhirnya cost pun tak cover. Okay? So this is how you have to be flexible with your pricing, with the demand and supply. You must know when there are new competitors that come into your market. So that means supply dah bertambah. You must arrange to change your pricing. Ataupun tiba-tiba material tak boleh nak sampai. You must make sure that you adjust your pricing as well. Okay? Alright. Next, we move on into initial pricing strategy. Bila you ada new product, how do you want to decide on the price that you want to put for how you want to price your product? The initial pricing, also known as basic pricing, is basic price list. Basic price list is the general price level which the company set for a new product. Maksudnya you nak letak value berapa produk you ni. Especially kalau barang tu barang yang tak ada dalam market. The price policy is set for a specific target market and it is based on well-defined positioning strategy. Okay, when you discuss this with your in your assignment, because you will have to tell me how you calculate your price and why do you decide on this pricing. Okay, so bila contohnya yang ni, where do you get this information from? It is based on the survey that you did before. Dalam survey tu you kena tanya how much they willing to pay. Tapi before that, you have to decide how you want to position the product in the mind of your consumer kan. So yang itu semua information tu you kena gel it together. Okay. This is the strategies for new product pricing and pricing product line. The first strategy for new product pricing is price skimming strategy. Kejap. Ni tengok muka semua macam dah tak larat nak dengar. Alright, why not we have a break for sekarang 12:10. We have a break for 10 minutes. So we come back at 12:20. Refresh dulu, basuh muka, nak suruh minum tak boleh minum. So, pergi basuh muka dulu ke, puan ambil semayang for product line. Okay, there's two type of strategies for you for new product pricing. The first one is the price skimming strategy. Okay, this strategy demands a firm to charge a higher introductory price for a new product. That means bila dia start introducing, they give higher price. Then after that it will go lower and get stabilized. Okay, the firm may lower price once goods are distributed widely. Maybe this one is harga pengenalan. Sometimes harga pengenalan can be low, but this one kalau price skimming strategy it will be high. Dia akan focus on the uniqueness of their product. After that competitor will start coming in, then they akan just make the price as standard as the market. That is price skimming strategy. Masa dia introduce tinggi, bila after that dia stabilize. While the second one is price penetration strategy. This strategy sets a relatively lower price to a new product in order to reach mass of the market. That means dia bagi very low price so that it gets to everybody. Okay? Then after that they stabilize and meet the market price. The strategy is designed to dominate the market, producing large volume which will lower the production cost. So dia nak dapatkan economies of scale as fast as possible. Then we look into the three types of pricing product line. When pricing a new product that is in a product line, that means dia bukan all together tapi dia dalam satu line tu, remember that day kita dah belajar pasal product line, right? Dalam satu line they can have few models of products. So they introduce new model in that product. Okay, this is the three ways of pricing product line. It must be consistent with the total product line image. So produk model baru ni dia tak boleh macam terlampau tinggi daripada yang lain-lain. They should be in line. Okay, the strategy is number one is price lining, optional product pricing and captive product pricing. Price lining is, for this strategy, a relatively similar group of items may have different costs but are priced equally. For example, cost of several ballpoint pen are different, but the retailer charges 3 level price. Ada RM1, ada RM1.50 dan RM2. The consumer will probably select 3 level of quality, which the 3 level of pricing with low, medium and high quality. Padahal mungkin cost dia sama je tiga type of this pen. Okay? So that means dia letak 3 range this price. Optional product pricing, seller offer to sell optional, somebody came in, is it? Yeah. Okay. Optional product pricing, seller offer to sell optional items or accessory product together with the main product to attract potential buyers. Example, one model of car can have different accessories. Ada yang full edition, ada yang special edition, ada yang macam full spec, half spec and so on. Okay, so dia ada option and they give different price based on different option. Lastly is the captive product pricing. These are products that must be used with the main product. For example, kalau you beli, kalau dulu you beli kamera, you kena ada film dia yang hitam tu. Okay, that one dia kena use together. Ataupun kalau you beli komputer without software, you tak boleh pakai. So komputer harga lain, software harga lain. Okay, tapi macam dalam package macam tu lah. Manufacturer normally sell the main product at a low price and they set high markup on the captive product. So maybe kalau komputer dengan software, komputer tu dia bagi harga yang agak similar je dengan in the market, tapi dia punya software maybe different price. They try to get the profit from the different price. In other words, the manufacturers are making money by selling more of the captive product. That means you kena macam contoh kalau what they call it, virus, antivirus for the computer, dia renewal setiap tahun kan, setiap tahun dia renew. So they keep on getting money from you from the ni laptop. Of course you buy once, lepas tu you have to renew your antivirus. Itulah contoh captive product pricing. Alright, so we have covered all this. This is the summary lah. That means bila you study nanti, you make sure yang you know that these two are under strategy for new product pricing and these three adalah strategy for pricing product line. Alright, just now you talk about new product, so you want to put the price for this new product. Now, you already have product, now you want to adjust the price. You dah jual for a while, then you want to adjust the price. Pricing adjustments are used to fine tune the base price or the list price of a product. That means you nak tukar, you nak ubah pricing yang you dah letak. These fine tuning strategies are short run approaches that do not change the general price level. So it's just you nak bagi you nak bagi macam contoh you nak bagi discount sekejap. Sekejap je, only for during hari raya time. Kalau waktu lain mungkin harga lain. However, it allows the company to adjust the price due to different types of customer and other conditions. These are the price adjustment strategies. It can be based on reward system. It can be geographical pricing. It can be special pricing. Okay, what is reward? Reward lebih pada macam you give discounts, you give allowance ataupun you give rebates. Kalau discount ni maybe you if you buy more based on quantity, you get discount. Kalau you buy this 2, you get this price. Kalau you buy 4, maybe you get 50% discount for the other 2 or something like that based on quantity. Or you can have seasonal discount macam pergi sekolah, musim haji ataupun hari raya. So those are seasonal discount. Trade discount is percentage reduction price offered to member of the trade. Ini kalau for business to business. That means you are selling your product to your business consumer. What cash discount is reduction offered to prompt payment. Okay, let's say you are selling to companies. Ada student baru masuk. Okay, let's say you are selling your product to another organisation, and then you said if you pay within 7 days, you will get discount. If you pay after 7 days, you don't get the discount. So itu cash discount. Functional discount is for wholesaler and retailers who perform distribution channel function. Okay, that means dia bagi discount kepada wholesaler dia ataupun dia bagi discount pada retailers. Allowances it offers in return for goods provided. Trade in car, promotional allowance. Let's say if you buy new car, then you have your old car, right? You want to sell. So they bagi that kind of allowance. That means they take your car for 20,000, 30,000. I give the discount on that basis. Or lastly, rebates. That means you pay first. Ni biasanya kalau kereta ke atau even kalau you pakai credit card, whatever, you pay and then they give you cash refund. Okay. So that will be the reward. The second strategy is geographic pricing. Okay, geographic pricing ni there are several of them. For example, number one is free on board. Strategy require purchaser to absorb the freight cost. That means transport nak hantar, dia kena bayar transport. Kita jual barang sahaja, dia yang cover the transport cost. Or uniform delivered pricing. In this case, maybe you sell your product, the seller is responsible for transport arrangement, that you will absorb the transport arrangement. You pay no matter where, you pay the same, the customer will pay the same price for that product. You cover the transport arrangement, transport cost to send the things to them. Then zone pricing, maybe you have different price for different zone. Macam contoh kalau kat Malaysia, selalu kalau you tengok iklan, okay, Sabah Sarawak lain price. Kalau Semenanjung lain price. That can be zone pricing. Freight absorption pricing, seller pay the whole or part of the actual freight charges. Freight ni transport lah, biasa shipping. And do not pass them to buyer. This one kita absorb. Base point pricing is where seller chose a base point and charge the buyer freight cost from the base point. That means kalau saya hantar ke port ini price dia. Kalau hantar ke port itu, ini price dia. Dia based on tempat mana you nak hantar. That one is geographic pricing. Lastly is special pricing. These tactics are used to stimulate demand for specific product, to increase store patronage and to offer wider choice of merchandise. Okay, contoh, the first strategy for special pricing is single pricing. Contoh ialah kedai RM2. Semua barang kat dalam tu RM2. Or you go to pasar malam, okay. Semua you boleh pilih mana-mana sayur yang you nak, 3 longgok RM10. Okay, that is single pricing. Walaupun for you it has different price, tapi in average you can cover kalau you put everything is same price. Flexible pricing is seller may charge different customer different prices. Contoh kat sini bridal gown, industrial goods, something yang memang satu-satu. Okay, so even for car dia ada list price dia, tapi orang ni dapat diskaun lain. Orang ni memang kenal dia punya salesperson, dia dapat diskaun lain. Ada yang dapat 20,000 diskaun, ada yang dapat 40,000 diskaun dengan tambahan barang ke apa. Okay, so dia that one is, you call it flexible pricing. Odd even pricing is this one. You nak letak RM19.99, RM99.90. So this one is actually RM100 lah, 10 sen je lagi kan. Tapi you use this as macam for your psychological effect. Orang tak akan rasa benda tu RM100. Orang tu akan still rasa benda tu RM99. Something like that. That is called odd even pricing. Bundle pricing, 2 or more goods or services are packed together for a special price. For example, macam travel agent. Okay, travel with food. Ataupun okay, travel with application of visa. That one is one price. Okay. Lastly is two-part pricing, where you separate two prices to consume a single product or service. For example, club membership. Okay, ada membership fees dan ada facility. Okay, kalau you nak pakai, kalau you ada membership, you bayar membership ni setahun berapa ataupun seumur hidup sekali you bayar. Kerana you ada membership ni, you pakai gym, setiap kali you masuk, you bayar RM2 instead of RM5, something like that. Okay, you give this two-part pricing because customer not sure how many times they will use your facility. So you tak packagekan dia terus. Alright, last but not least, changes in price when you want to revise your price. Yang tadi ni, yang bila kita kata price adjustment ni ialah untuk short term. Okay, tapi kalau you nak memang revise the price altogether, maksudnya you memang you tak balik-balik. Macam tadi kan kalau discount for this time. Kalau you bayar awal, you know, dia akan berubah-ubah. Yang ini kalau macam memang price tu dulu RM10, sekarang you nak revise jadi RM8. Why do you do that normally? Normally it's because of the product life cycle. Daripada growth, maybe at the growth level harga dia low. And then sampai ataupun harga dia high. Kalau tadi yang not the penetration, the other one, yang masih introduction tu high, the price dia high. Lepas tu sampai at maturity level, dia try to match with the market. So at maturity stage, the different price. Sampai kat declining stage kat sini, masa ni maybe you dah reduce the price, you just want to make sure all the product has been is sold in the market. Lepas tu you nak introduce new model or something. So that one you have another price. So that can be the reason why you want to revise price. The other reason for you to revise price is maybe you have excess in supply, so you want to cut the price. That one can be the reason. Or you want to increase the price bila barang naik, harga barang naik, harga sugar naik, teh seluruh semua mamak semua akan naik 10 sen 20 sen. In fact sampai 50 sen pun ada. Masa GST being introduced masa tu, harga teh tarik increase by 50 sen. So that can be a reason for revise your price. Okay, with that we finish the chapter pricing. Any question? Yang 4 P's ni very important untuk you cover kat dalam you punya assignment. You kena bagi tahu which strategy you use. You kena bagi tahu kenapa. The most importantly yang saya nak tengok in your assignment is kenapa. Kenapa you guna macam tu? Okay, kerana you dah buat survey. Kenapa you guna macam ni? Sebab economic condition sekarang macam ni. Kenapa tu kena ada. Okay, justification tu kena ada. Alright, can I know kalau announcement membenarkan you all balik untuk hari raya ni, how many of you will be going off this Friday? Yang Friday ke mana? Arah utara Satu orang yang raise hand. 2, 3. Okay, kalau balik tu diorang akan bagi gerak pukul berapa, dah tahu ke belum?
Dia orang tak bagi tahu lagi, Doktor.
Tengah cerita macam malam.
Actually diorang tak habis announce pun lagi sebab dah tak benar-benar akan rentas kan. So diorang akan decide actually whether yang hari tu punya announcement boleh berpakai ke tidak. I tak berapa nak cancel kelas Friday tu. Tapi ada a few of you yang tajuk apa please. Let me see tajuk please. Dua slides. Okay, macam ni. Kalau announcement kata memang tak boleh balik, so class as usual. Kalau announcement kata yang balik tu boleh balik, I think unless I decide tomorrow differently lah, tapi the plan as at now will be kita on class but I will record the class. For that particular, only for that particular class, I will record and then I will show you I will share with you the recording. For those yang tak boleh nak hadir tu, boleh dengar recording. Can we agree on that? Unless tomorrow I decide untuk cancel saja tu, saya akan inform you lah. Tapi as at now, our class is on. Kalau korang dibenarkan balik, yang ada yang nak kena naik bas dah masa tu, I will record the class. Okay? We agree this way okay. Alright, so with that, I think we nak continue chapter yang satu ke? Macam terpegun je semua orang. Macam tak ada yang geleng pun, macam okay je. Tak adalah, saya pun punya suara pun dah nak tak ada.